was fond of wrestling video games since I was a kid. Be it Wrestlemania Challenge on NES, Super Wrestlemania, Monday Night Raw, and even Royal Rumble for Sega Genesis. But of all these great wrestling games, one of them actually caught my attention for a very long time, even until now, which is already 2014, and you're looking at it. I'm still playing it on my vintage PC from time to time, and that, of course, is none other than WWF Wrestlemania, the arcade game. Oh yeah! This game was originally released in the arcade by Midway and was later ported over to several systems including Sega Genesis, Sega Saturn, Sony PlayStation, and even Super Nintendo. They had their differences in terms of animations, graphics, and audio, but I'm not gonna go into too much details about them. So this review will be based on the PC version that was released about 2 years later after the original. And just like every other old school PC games, Wrestlemania Arcade comes with an attractive box art featuring Bret Hart, Razor Ramon, and Shawn Michaels. And they also have the Undertaker photo taken of the original arcade cabinet, so click, forget about it, he's practically not there. Anyway, I think he's just gonna retire after WrestleMania 30. So the back of the box will tell you the features of the game and show you some action-packed screenshots. I tell you, as a kid, these screenshots really did win my heart than any girls have. The game also comes with a pretty decent manual and tell you on how to perform the basic maneuvers for each and individual wrestlers. Though I remember the Sega Genesis version that I bought doesn't come with a manual, which is pretty much informativeless. Which basically means I have to figure out every move by myself, just like playing the good old Mortal Kombat. Oh no, but yes. Okay, wait a minute. There's also like some sort of a sequel to WrestleMania arcade game, and it's WWF in your house, but we will talk about that game some other time. So the installation will take you to a BSOI, blue screen of installer. Will let you choose if you want all the files to be installed to your hard drive. What surprises me though, it takes quite a while to extract the 12 megabytes of game files, and I've tried installing it on both my old Windows 98 and new Windows 8.1 i7 PC, but nada, same result. So come on, pop in the SSD, maybe it'll help, but absolutely not. So I'm just gonna cut the video short, and finally, after the installation, just like the old times, huh? I'm sure most of your PC gamers are familiar with this sound setup screen. Now if you don't know these, you better go play your PlayStation or Sega Saturn or whatever console version you have, you understand? You console freaks! So after you type whatever you need to type to start the game, you will then be brought into the main menu where you can press F1 or F2 to play or F3 to go to the settings. That is where you can configure your keyboard or gamepad or whatever that is attached to your computer, except for USB devices unless you are using DOSBox, you understand? Okay. So after you press whatever Fs you want to press, the game will then bring you to the character selection screen. There are only 8 characters for you to choose from, and that's pretty much not much. You can also go to the option settings and change a few options to your liking. Now for the sake of my own personal taste, I love playing this game on the extreme or get real difficulty settings. Now unlike the original arcade version, the PC version does not, I repeat does not, allow you to have a different color outfit for your choice of wrestlers. So too bad. So the game also only offers 2 game modes for the single player portion, the Intercontinental title and the Championship title. The difference between the 2 game modes are the number of opponents you'll face in each match. There are 7 matches per title. For the Intercontinental title, you'll start off with 1 opponent in the first 4 matches, then 2 in the 5th and 6th match, and end up fighting 3 on the last match. In the Championship mode though, you'll start off with 2 opponents in the first 4 matches, and end up fighting 8. That's right, 8. Though not all 8 of them will be in the ring with you, you have to fight them subsequently. And why is it 8? It's because whichever wrestlers you select will end up having a twin of them, and that is what we call same mama, different papa. So on the 2-player mode, you will also be given a choice of 2 different game modes, head-to-head mode and cooperative mode. The cooperative mode will just be a single match fighting against 8 opponents, and if both players choose the same wrestler, you will in fact see a third clone, but this time we're gonna call it same papa, different mama. Okay, so 3 Undertakers equals to rest in pieces, because there's 3 of them, so it's pieces, right? Okay, so the other mode is the head-to-head mode, which is actually a versus mode, so I'm sure most of you guys know what it means, so I don't have to explain that part. Okay then, moving forward. So, it's pretty short on the game modes and a number of wrestlers to choose from. But what's so interesting about this game then? Well, the first time I looked at this game is in the year 1995. I said, thank you, Vince McMahon, because that's exactly what I said. I mean, just look at the likeness of the wrestlers. Oh my goodness, because it really resembles them in real life compared to the current SmackDown or even WWE 2K games. Not even close. I mean, come on, just look at Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels, the wrestler of the night.
I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I've got the looks that drives the girls wild. I've got the moves that really move them. I said chill.
Okay, so enough on discriminating the current wrestling video games graphically, on console of course, sorry about that, but what makes the old wrestling games look real life? That's because Midway did an awesome job in scanning and motion capturing the wrestlers, not only their appearances, but also their moves, and additionally their great and superb voices.
Good sound is key to a great game.
I totally agree with Bret Hart, and thanks for the shoutout Yokozuna, we really miss you, rest in peace. So now we know why the graphics are real, the sounds are accurate, and the animations are close to the real deal. So what about the gameplay then? Well, firstly, I have to say Wrestlemania Arcade is a mix of both fighting game and wrestling game, and that's the bottom line because Midway said so. The game is very fast-paced and you can juggle your opponents with combos and mix and match your attacks. The reason it's not totally a wrestling game is because there is no referee and you can't make your opponent tap out. You just need to beat them till their health drains out, and that means KO. Another wrestling move that is also not available in the game is throwing your opponent to the turnbuckle. So basically, if you throw them at the corner, they will just bounce back from the rope and it looks like a shuttle run. So that concludes that you cannot do a basic suplex off a turnbuckle or even do a 10-knuckle punch on the turnbuckle, if you know what I mean. So therefore, it's really not a fully fledged wrestling game. And why is it also a fighting game is because each wrestlers have their power attacks. They have their super punch and super kick button, which resembles Mortal Kombat, except it's more chaotic but in a good way.
Excellent. Outstanding.
Some wrestlers also have weapons that comes out of nowhere, which is not that realistic, but at the same time it's really, and I mean really fun having them around. After all, it's an arcade game. What makes the wrestlers even look better is the way they perform their signature and special moves. You can perform these special moves at any given time as long you know the combination of the buttons to press. That means you don't have to store your power meter to do the special moves, unlike current wrestling games. Instead, your power meter is just for you to perform your combo or if you have a start combo, you can kick out from a knockdown and will be given a last stand chance. But it's not that easy, as you really need to mash your buttons fast. The controls mechanic are also close to Mortal Kombat. For instance, you need to press forward super punch to grab, then down kick to slam depending on each wrestler. It requires a specific button combination to do a successful maneuver. The bigger sized wrestlers like Bam Bam, Yokozuna and Lex Luger also have the ability to do heavy press and toss the opponents around, which is something new in terms of gameplay at that point of time. Both you and the AI can also do reversal moves on a setup. The higher the difficulty levels, the more chances the AI will reverse you. The AI can be very forgiving on the lower difficulty settings, and that means the game is not as difficult as Mortal Kombat. So that's the good news for starters and for those who's interested to play the game. The only lame thing about the game is the ending. After you finish whichever title, you will be brought to the congratulations screens and your wrestler will be surrounded with pyro and fireworks, which is not that satisfying. Alright, but in every video games, there will always be that something that will catch any viewer's attention regardless of what types of gamer you are. And that is none other than seeing the wrestlers getting beat up and having their insignia coming out of their body. I mean damn, having Yokozuna surrounding with chickens and fish, Shawn Michaels breaking our hearts, Doink getting knocked out like bowling pins and so on. Now that is a hilarious but a very unique feature, and I'm gonna be honest with you, despite the game being close to 20 years old, I never get tired of looking at these funny little puppy toys even until now, and that is what I call a classic.
Listen to the crowd! Quiet, McMahon, try to watch this!
So before I wrap it up, I also want to point out that Vince McMahon and Jerry the King Lawler did an outstanding job in commentating the game. You can feel the electricity in the air each time you hear their voices. It's like they are really there.
I've never seen anything like that! Good night! Listen to the crowd! Quiet, McMahon, try to watch this!
Mr. McMahon himself have recorded over 70 different lines for this game, let alone Jerry Lawler. And therefore, I'm here to guarantee that Wrestlemania Arcade has the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be, and the most entertaining commentary for wrestling video games in history.
Look at this! Can you believe that?
So let's wrap it up to the final conclusion. Wrestlemania Arcade is not really a pick up and play game. Due to the speed and sequential button pressing, it may not really attract casual gamers or even younger generations these days to play them. This is the kind of game where you need to put the time and effort to practice, and also your interest and focus for wrestling games must be there. You will practically need to remember the buttons to press in order to play them and enjoy the game easily. As a long-time PC gamer, I personally rate this game 8 out of 10. If it were to have more wrestlers, more game modes such as normal tag team or Survivor Series matches or even Royal Rumble, and have a better ending for each wrestler, I would definitely rate this game 10 out of 10. But despite the minor flaws, Wrestlemania Arcade will still be a memory of a lifetime. So thank you once again for checking out the FYG Productions on my first video review for Wrestlemania the arcade game PC DOS.
Cause that's the only way you're gonna survive.